Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Gaming Fuse Podcast, Episode 6. Glad you could join us. It's going to be a dynamite show, and as always, I am here, your host, Mr. Boom Boom Kaboom. It's Noof Nukem in the room. Welcoming back for another 6th episode is the one and only, the man who makes it big. It's Titan.
What's up, everybody? My son just invited me to a party on Xbox. Got the podcast, little guy. Man, what's going on, everybody? I've been on DVD. My wife made the top tier for survivors that you can make, man. I've been like super excited about that for her, and I'm still what's called Iridescent 3. So I made Iridescent 2 the other night. So I still need to make one to get that highest tier and to get the 1,000,000 blood points before the 13th, because that's every month it resets on the 13th. So super excited about that. G Fuel flavor for the week. I've done Maiden's Blood so far, rated it highly. Zit's Juice was very poor, and this one is another good one. Mega Man flavor. Blue Bomber Slushy. Blue Bomber Slushy. I got to give this one a 90. I highly recommend this one. It really tastes really good. And
at least it doesn't taste like last week's flavor. What'd you call last week's flavor? Snot or something like that?
Zit's Juice. Even worse.
Yeah.
Zit's Juice. Nasty, man.
All right.
There I'm ready to go. Yeah.
Noof Nukem bringing you this episode by Zoa. Dwayne The Rock Johnson's little energy drink. If you guys ever had it, but it's pretty damn good. All right. No sugar. All right. But speaking of someone who makes the show a little sweeter, it's the man who makes a ton of sense. Mental 9R back in the building. Welcome back, sir. We missed you last week.
Gentlemen, I'm happy to be back. That's for sure. I missed you guys last week. At least I got to sit in a little bit with the rest of the crew, listening in the chat. But I'm happy to be back here on camera.
Nice. Somewhere along the line, we got an echo coming back, but hopefully we can fix it up here in a sense. It's good to have you back, man, and I'm trying to dig what you got in the background. It looks like the old wall of achievements. Is that right?
That's what that is, yeah. And I'll try and figure out this echo here for you. Apologize for that. It's definitely not my normal setup here.
Destiny 2, Tom Clancy, Division 2, awesome.
Well, you know what they say when you're not nice, you can hear you twice, right?
Let me see if I can fix that.
Yeah, Titan's coming through perfectly clear, not getting the feedback, so that's good. All right, let's catch up with the chat real quick before we jump straight into the topics, and I will promise you we're going to try to keep this show a little bit more on point and laser focused. We've been kind of getting in the long-running category the last couple of weeks, and it's not my intent. I mean, mind you, nobody's ever complained, and nobody's sitting there going, hey, you're over time. Usually people are like, oh, it's ending. But anyway, let's get right down to it. Let's acknowledge our incredible chat. We will start off with the always incredible. He was a guest with us last week. Catch up with the show if you didn't see it. And that is the one and only Doggy Dog 420 is in the building. What is happening, Doggy Dog? And I think he left us a super chat. We might as well bring that one up on the screen right off the bat. Titan, you can do the honors.
Good evening, Newfound panel and chat. Excellent. Absolutely. I got my beer as well, but like platinum today. They got people are hating on Bud Light because these platinums are really cheap right now.
Everybody's gonna buy the Bud just because it's cheap.
Yeah.
It's got tranny fluid in it. All right, let's catch up with the rest of the chat. We got Talos Ray in the building. What's going on? Our good friend Thimber is here. What's happening, Thimber? Our Rob is in the building. You're Wicked Hot is here. Wouldn't be a good time without we were Wicked Hot. Michael Monkey Punch Lugo. It's been a long time, Monkey Punch. Good to see you, my friend. Draven Nero is in the building as well. Good to see you here, Draven Nero. We got a lot of people here, and of course, we got a lot of people that kind of stroll in from Colt Eastwood's show, which is happening right now. Him and the Mag, so XNC Podcast. Shout out to those amazing guys. Hey, it's a familiar face. Princess Zelda is in the building. We got Two Pad Stack hanging out. It's my Canadian brother. That's good. That makes three of us here tonight. And I think we've caught up to just about everybody. Again, thank you so much for all your love and support, and to all the great messages that I got from my Twitter feed, just reaching out and showing some appreciation. I know I missed a few people along the way. Man, it's been over 10 years. It's kind of hard to get everybody, and it's certainly hard to get them all in one shot. But I've been thanks again to everybody who's stuck by me, supported me, sent great messages, and encouraged me to keep on doing this sort of stuff. So here, let's go. Let's do it. What have you guys been playing, though? Titan Drago, what's been keeping you busy?
Back on the Smite train, trying to get that Iridescent 1 in DBD, and a couple other games here and there, but that's where most of my time has been. Little Rocket League, too, playing that with Iceman. And my buddy Whiskey Mike, he's a Canadian as well. Whiskey, he's living up there. He used to be an American, and he went up and married a lady up there and moved on up there with you guys.
So he moved to Canada, and now he's got a pair of snowballs. Is that it?
That's right.
All right. How about you, Mental? Obviously, you've been a very busy man. You probably haven't had a chance to play very many games lately.
No, the last week has been pretty dry. Did I fix the echo, by the way?
Yeah, you sounded great right now. Whatever you did.
Awesome. Cool. Yeah, no, currently working on Hogwarts Legacy and a little Gears of War on the side. I finished off Gears 4, and I'm replaying Gears 5 when I feel like a little bit more of a shoot 'em up. But yeah, I think I'm at around a level 13 on Hogwarts at the moment. Still early in the game, but so far so good. Enjoying it.
Yeah, Hogwarts is a decent little game.
It's real
fun.
I'm
trying to work through a bunch of the more recent ones before Starfield comes out and consumes my life, because I did break down and buy the deluxe edition, so I get in there early. Picked it up on CD keys for a decent 30% discount. So can't argue with that.
It's important to clear out as much of this backlog as you can. I've actually finished a few games here in the past few weeks, so I'm like really happy about where I am for when Starfield comes out. I just hope I don't get like with the 30 FPS or whatever, but I don't,
Well, Diablo 4 seems to be going pretty strong. Still see a lot of people online playing that night in and night out. So that's bodes pretty well for that game, and it is a ton of fun, especially when you got a group of people to play it with.
I believe that first season dropped too, so I think a lot of people are doing that.
Awesome. Well, a beauty little game coming to Game Pass, courtesy of our friends at Capcom. Exo Primal, it drops here in the next couple of days, I do believe. Am I correct on that? Anybody interested in it at all? Going to give it a shot?
Not whatsoever for me. What about you, Mental?
Nope, probably not, but we'll see. You never know. I'm always looking for second and third games to go along with whatever it is I'm playing at the time. So.
Oh yeah, Zelda mentioned. I completely forgot. I put like some days into Car Mechanic Simulator 21. It's in Game Pass right now. Jeez, like I know nothing about cars, right? So like I jumped into that thing and I learned a ton, man. And I'm doing really good, man. I'm like taking apart the whole damn car engine, you name it. Like boy, I'm getting down to the pistons, you name it, man.
Okay, man.
It's dumbed down, which is perfect for me.
I need to know then. We've had Farm Simulator, we've had Construction Simulator, Car Simulator. I need to know when we're getting Gynecologist Simulator.
Jeez.
So I'm sure it's on the list for somebody to do.
When you want a game that goes hard and deep, Gynecologist Simulator.
Strange that we would get Lawnmower Simulator before that, ain't it? Like
every guy in the chat's like, "Hey, let's make it happen." Oh man!
I gotta extract some fluids right now. I guess I don't know.
Your wife said, "Be careful what you wish for."
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. I'm sure there's a lot of places I could go with that one, but it's okay. All right.
Let's not say we did.
Yeah, that's right. All righty, let's get into, I guess, the first topic of the evening. Sort of it kind of came down the pipe here, and I'm just looking it up here through our messages. It looks like Black Panther finally getting his own video game after, of course, 2 movies now with Black Panther and Wakanda Forever. I never did see Wakanda Forever and have very little inclination to watch it simply because, well, Black Panther is technically not really in it. So I was like, yeah. So I kind of avoided that movie, but definitely excited of where the game could potentially go. Single-player action adventure published by EA Studios, and I believe it's made. My friggin' laptop is slower than Methuselah here right now. Give me a sec here, guys. But anyway, it's something. What's the name of the studio that made it here, or that's making it? I have it here. If I can scroll the screen, it's just my like I said. I got to get into
Cliffhanger Games.
Cliffhanger Games. Yes, which is comprised of former members who made forget what they made. Anybody excited about the prospect of that? Do you think it's going to be done well? I mean, it's obviously not an Insomniac game, but it is a Marvel property, and for the most part, the Marvel superhero games haven't been all that bad in recent years. We know that Suicide Squad is in a whole lot of trouble right now and kind of in limbo. We talked about this in the past. People not really sure when and or how that's going to turn out. I think that one's due for like next year or something, isn't Suicide Squad? But where do you guys sit on the Black Panther game? Is any excitement levels here?
Well, the fact that EA is making it, because like there was a post not too long ago as well, somewhere I read today, that like the recent superhero movies have games have struggled. I mean, there was a list of like 7 of them. And the ones you mentioned being part of that list. But yeah, basically, the past 7 or so have struggled in sales, which is kind of weird. But yeah. I guess it's just kind of studio to studio. It really matters on, I think, their approach to the development, because EA, they got some money to make up. They got to recoup. Now, are they going to keep going down that path of the microtransactions? Like what was the game that flopped? Marvel Avengers. So are they going to keep going down that road? Are they going to try that formula again, maybe tweak it a little bit? Or are they going to like learn from that mistake and kind of go for more of a narrative experience with less microtransactions, less grinding, yada yada?
Well, I highly expect they'll stay away. If they're smart, they'll stay away from some of the things that ruin the Avengers and similar games to it. I mean, obviously, if you look at, it's kind of funny, right? Because Square Enix published the Avengers. It also published the Guardians of the Galaxy game, right? So you got one game that was made by Crystal Dynamics, and then you had the Avengers. Yeah, Avengers was done by Crystal Dynamics. Who did the no, it was Eidos Montreal, right? I think that did the Guardians of the Galaxy.
I think so, yeah.
I'm correct. So 2 high-profile studios with very different approach to how they did both games. Now, the Avengers kind of came out ho-hum and was filled with microtransactions. Then you get Guardians of the Galaxy, which virtually had nothing of it, and was a much better game that people actually enjoyed, but was kind of a bit of a dud sales-wise. I don't think they ever did sell a whole lot of copies of the game, even though despite it's had good reviews and it's been in Game Pass and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, like I remember that game was on sale literally like probably just over a month after coming out, and that's usually not a good sign when games go that early into the bargain bins, or so I don't know. And then we had Midnight Suns, which again I heard a lot of people liking it, who like that turn-based strategy Marvel game, but I don't think that game set the world on fire from a sales standpoint either, based on all the things I've heard. So is there a bit of concern here right now that these games are just like, or they're just not in touch with their fan base, that sort of thing? I mean, the last game that sold really well was probably, I think that was at the what was the one that came out on the Switch that was a sequel to the other games? Marvel's, what the hell was it?
I don't know.
While you're thinking of that, let me just mention something. You said it was ho-hum. I think it was a lot more ho than hum. But Cliffhanger Games. So it's a new AAA studio. So I was like, digging into what the post or whatnot, and I found something I really liked. So I just got a lot of I guess potential for this game. A little, my hype meters moved up a little bit. So it's led by Kevin Stevens from Monolith Productions, and Monolith Productions,
Right.
they were huge. Game I love, 2 games. Middle Earth. I love that game.
That's it, yes.
So they did that game both of those games so well. I beat the heck out of both of them, and I was like really freaking good, man. Like the way they handled the controls, like if you stuck with the game, if you go from forward to back, it like slowly teaches you the mechanics, because they're not easy, doing all these different moves, and you got to learn all the different moves to be able to kill these, like, different types of enemies that require different moves to beat, and some combinations too. Otherwise you'll die often. And that with the Nemesis system, God, if they could bring that back, I'd love to see more of that. Love the Nemesis system. That's probably one of the coolest, like maybe underrated or underutilized like tools of any developer. And I believe they have a patent on that as well. So we're not going to see that from anybody else because of that.
Oh, by the way, our good friend Michael Monkey Punch Lugo, Marvel Ultimate Alliance. That's it. They had 2 games back on the 360 PS3 era, and then made the 3rd one exclusive to Switch, which was a decent little game. Good way to hook up with a buddy and kick some butt, superhero style. That one did relatively well. Of course, you would expect it to do fairly well, being an exclusive and obviously on a Switch base that was craving, games of that ilk.
It also says, go ahead.
God of War. Yeah, I was just going to say they're also involved with God of War and Call of Duty and Halo Infinite. So they've got a pedigree for shooters and whatnot anyway, and a bit of that third-person action. So I'm pretty pumped for the game personally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Monolith. If you hear Monolith, your ears should perk, or your spidey sense should go off, whatever way you want to put it, because they're a quality studio. Everything they put out is it's fantastic. And I didn't know they helped on Call of Duty. I know there's a ton of satellite studios, support studios for Call of Duty. I didn't know they were one of them.
Well, I can say that I'm definitely excited for. I think Black Panther is a really cool character, and of course, offers a different, a take on the action genre. It kind of has a little bit of a Wolverine-esque kind of feel to it, and of course, for those of you out there who obviously, for the diversity standpoint, it is one of the marquee black, superheroes. There aren't a ton of them out there, so that's a cool feature in itself. And like I said, I think it's a really cool character. It'd be interesting to see if they base it a little bit more on the comic book side of the Black Panther, or if they kind of try to dress it up with like a movie aspect to it, or perhaps use likenesses, or try to make the likeness a little bit like Chadwick Boseman. Rest in peace, by the way, Chadwick. It's too sad we lost him way too soon. Good actor.
Way too soon, yeah.
Way too soon. Very sad. Very sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. Black Panther game coming, guys. So there's more stuff in the pipe. But interesting, where are all the DC games? Is that property in trouble, both in the game standpoint and movie standpoint? Because it doesn't seem to be a whole lot of stuff coming out. We saw as well. And there was another game that we totally forgot to mention. The Gotham Knights game. Did you guys like that game at all? Because I have it. My friend gifted it to me, and I'm having a damn hard time getting into that one.
I played it for a while, but I'm kind of right there with you. I had a really tough time convincing myself to stick with it. Really,
yeah, I've only played a couple of missions, and this I'm bored like halfway through a mission. It's like, this feels nothing like the Batman games that it's basically based around, essentially.
Yeah, the world just seems kind of empty to me, in that even the traveling around, it just feels like everything takes too long to get where you want to go. I don't know. It just didn't hit with me, didn't resonate with me, however you want to say it, but. I spent probably gave it a good 5 hours, 10 hours worth of time before I packed it in. But yeah, I kept telling myself, I'll go back to it later, and I never have. So,
well, maybe we should team up and see if doing it co-op helps a little bit. I mean, I guess that's why they simplified part of it is to make it easier to get into co-op wise, but it just felt like, did you just find that the world just felt different? Like you said, it felt a little bit more barren, but I just felt it didn't have the same personality that Gotham had in the Batman games.
Yeah. No, I agree. It just doesn't quite tick all the boxes, you know. The combat, I think, was, at least what I played, was okay. But again, I don't know, just something about it didn't hit with me. Did you play
I
it
found
all,
the combat
Titan?
didn't have the weight. Like, you know, like it felt like the Batman combat had a real weight to it. Like it felt like his blows were really resonating. You know what I mean? It was like, but this one just felt like you're going around and kind of just jumping and throwing shit. I don't, it just didn't feel the same to me.
Yeah.
Which is odd because you'd think, you know, they have the technology and a lot of the people a lot of the people that worked on one game kind of come over and help with another. And yet it's just like, how does this game feel so vastly different, but still kind of in the same universe? I don't know. It's just weird.
Yeah. You play that one at all, Titan, or?
Which one are you talking about?
Gotham Knights.
Gotham Knights.
That's the one where there's a bunch of different heroes you can play as.
Oh yeah, I did play that. I didn't beat it. That fell into the backlog. If it's the one I'm thinking about, Gotham Knights, that just doesn't sound right. The one I got,
Gotham Knights got Nightwing and was it Nightwing and Batgirl? You know,
no, I'm thinking of a
Red
different
Hood.
one.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of a different one. I didn't play that one at all.
Yeah, Titan's thinking of Boogie Nights. With Mark Wahlberg. Remember that one? That movie?
Some stinking corpse. Yeah. Thimber said it in the chat too. Yeah, that guy was from that studio, but it's like it's not WB. It's a new EA studio, so he must have switched teams or something. So yeah, the Nemesis system isn't going to be utilized whatsoever in this game. That kind of sucks. Yeah. But either way, still good pedigree.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what happens. In the meantime, guys, another great. I guess if you could make any superhero movie, we've seen almost all the major ones get a game over the course of the past, 10 years or so. Essentially, we've had Wolverine games, we've Batman games, we've had Spider-Man games. Who do you think is overdue for a game? If you guys could pick one, we've even had a Deadpool game. It's been a while since we've seen people like Spawn, and it's been a while since we've had a good Hulk game. It's been a long time since we've had a good Superman game. So who do you think is overdue if you guys had to pick one?
Superman. Super freaking man. I've been wanting that since how many years ago, Noof, with Salty? I've been crying for it since then, dude.
Me too, man. And everybody says it can't be done. And I'm like, well, if you can make a Superman comic and you can make a movie, how come you can't make a game?
Yeah.
I think it's a tough one to make, right? Like, because the guy is just like, I mean, you can fly across the city in a second. You can fly around the world in a few seconds. He's so invincible in theory. It's a tough one, I think, to make a game out of, right?
You throw some, kryptonite in with some like quirks or something like that, and it's not just green kryptonite. There's other colors of kryptonite too. Red.
Who even says that the game has to take place on Earth? I mean, perhaps Superman goes in search of. He's in search of finding other people from Krypton to see if there's any more people, and then he runs across other superior or other, annihilating races. Maybe another race of aliens trying to annihilate another planet. You know what I mean? Something like that.
That's another thing. Does it have to stick with like the history of it, or can they go off on their own? Can they have some creative freedom?
Go back to the beginning where he couldn't actually fly. He could just jump really far,
exactly.
AKA Smallville times.
If you do an origin story essentially inside of the game, and you basically build up your level of power, right?
Absolutely.
And try to figure out what you can and cannot do at those stages of the game. Like perhaps at 16 years old, he can't stand in front of a moving train at this point. You know what I mean?
Well, he could do that. But he could not fly. He could not. It's just like, yeah, I don't know. It's for anyone that's seen the movie, the Smallville series. That series was amazing, TV series, and it kind of went through him like learning his abilities and controlling his abilities. You know, they were always there, but he could never like control them and whatnot. So that would be, and that's reminiscent to like Jedi Order. You know, the game that just released, Jedi Fall. Lot of success there. I mean. The template is there. Yeah, and that's just us. Like, we're not even a freaking creative team. That's just us like brainstorming off the top on a freaking show. You know what I mean? Like 5 minutes this took. Like, imagine if this is your job. You know what I mean? Like, how easy that would be. Like, so like, you know, the difficulty of creating a story, this and that, like, we just gave you a few different options right here on the show. Like, that shouldn't be too difficult for a creative mind.
Dodging kryptonite bullets. The more bullets he takes in his body, the weaker he gets, and then therefore can be killed. You know, something like that would be cool. Guys are loaded up with kryptonite bullets in a gun somewhere, supplied by Lex Luthor. You know, and when guys are firing at you, maybe you go into sort of a little bit of a quick time thing where you have to dodge those bullets, you know, or shoot them with your laser or whatever. You laser out. You know what I mean? There's a ton of ways that could be creatively done to make it a very cool game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I totally get it. He's one of the more complex characters to definitely get into because, again, it's that lack of morality or, you know, but it's what happens if Superman is bad. And you play it from a GTA standpoint. You could do a lot of bad shit and then the whole world turns on you. Or you could be a good superhero and have people adore you. There's a lot of different things or avenues you could explore.
Or maybe you don't even have to be the Superman. Maybe someone else from Krypton, you know, whatever, create a character and have them essentially do the same thing. That way you don't even need to, that way you can really have creative freedom of whether you want to be on another planet. Maybe, you know, Krypton blew up and someone else landed somewhere else, you know, like Kal-El came to Earth. This guy went to Birth, wherever the hell you want to made up world you want to put him on.
How about yourself, Mental? Obviously, me and Titan pretty much on the Superman. What about yourself? Swamp Thing?
There was one that you had mentioned.
Captain Canuck from Canada.
Yeah, there was one that you did mention, and now I'm just drawing a blank on what it was that immediately jumped out at me.
Swamp Thing would be cool, though, man. Freaking, you're the bad guy. Like, I guess, you know?
Yeah, that could be cool. Geez, what did you mention there, Noof?
I mentioned Hulk.
Off. Yeah, that wasn't it.
Hulk hasn't had a good game. I mentioned Spawn. Spawn really hasn't had a good game for a long time. I talked about Deadpool had a game a couple years ago.
I'd like to see a new Deadpool, I think. That would work for me.
Yeah, Deadpool would be a really cool game. He's a great character. He's a lot of fun.
Yeah. And it, you know, if it has some of that comedic wit that you know, Ryan Reynolds throws into the character, his delivery,
oh my god,
that could be awesome.
They get him to do the character, would be dynamite.
Oh man, yeah, that would be awesome. I think that could be great.
He gets his leg cut off, and then he takes his leg and beats somebody with it. That'd be funny.
Yeah, no doubt, right? That could be great. I'd like to see that.
So you like those witty characters, those humor characters.
Yeah, I like a bit of comedy, right? I mean, who doesn't? I think for the most part we can all enjoy a good one-liner here and there, right?
Now you got to remember that Deadpool is from Saskatchewan, eh?
There you go. But I think I'd really enjoy a game like that. That's, I think, why, you know, even, you know, he's not so OP that you feel like there is opportunity there to die. I mean, you guys came up with some great ideas for Superman to kind of tone him down a little bit, but I think you know, you get those guys that are a little more human, like, you know, your Spider-Mans and whatnot. I think that's why that's such a big hit, because it's not such an OP character that you have to have some skill to play him, and when you do it right, it can be pretty impressive, just like your Batman and whatnot. And I think Deadpool would fit right in with that crowd, just like a Black Panther would.
Absolutely. Alrighty. So people were saying it looked like I was lagging. I think my video is a little bit off, but as long as the audio is good, I'm okay with that. Because I can just stand up here and kind of pull the max headroom off for you here. Anybody? Yeah, you're probably from the 80s if you know who Max Headroom is.
You just dated yourself there, buddy.
there was a
Michael knows who it is.
Oh, I was the first one to laugh, so that's a problem.
We need to get Mental like a Snapchat filter and turn him in, give him the head.
Yeah.
Look at awesome accent.
Right.
There was a Twitter post about that recently, and someone brought up, the Max Headroom to a lot of the younger whatever people, especially rap familiar, like what was it the Rap God video from Eminem where he did his rendition of it. It was great, man.
Yeah,
I can't believe you brought that up.
Thimber says I look like I'm podcasting in slow motion. Well, like I said, as long as the audio is good. All right, well, let's segue into sort of another DC topic, essentially. This one kind of moves over to the film side of things. So the latest string of games have certainly not been amazing, to say the least. The latest batch of films have not been overly amazing. I don't know if you guys saw Black Adam. I thought it was okay, but certainly could have been a lot better. And the biggest disappointment of Black Adam was seeing the finale and the end credits and then finding out what Mr. James Gunn had in store for the DCEU after he took over the reins. And it is not looking good, at least in my opinion and by the opinions of many DCEU hardcore fans. And the games, like I said, have been kind of going downhill. The Flash, I'm hearing some fans say they like the movie, but it's not doing very well financially, and it's coming to digital early. So who's seen Shazam? Who's seen The Flash? What do you think of The Last Suicides? Or is the DCU movies in trouble, guys? Well, I mean, what's going on here?
I think they both did terrible. I haven't seen them, but Shazam didn't do well either, did it?
No, Shazam was way off than the original.
Yeah, but not a good sign, right?
I haven't.
I don't
seen
know
it
what's
either.
going on.
Are people burned out? Is it superhero fatigue, or is it just the lack of great superhero movies right now, where it's getting flooded with more, forced sequels, so to say?
Maybe a bit of both. Like, I think you'll find out quickly if there's a Marvel movie that comes out and then it's just, goes all crazy at the box office. But
that'll be a good test for the next Marvel one flops. Then you got maybe a problem in the industry. But I don't think the next Marvel one will flop. I think Marvel's they're whatever they do, they ride strong with every thing. That I fell asleep watching The Flash from MG. Holy smokes, that isn't good. But all those movies, man, I feel like the Marvel movies, they center a lot more around the villain. I feel like, and the villain has a bigger role in the story, and I think that kind of makes it inherently better from a bedrock point of view, I guess you could say. Like Thanos, man, like how awesome was it? At what was it? Not Endgame, but the one before it. When Thanos won, he snapped his fingers
the Infinity War.
Yeah, Infinity War.
Yeah,
he snaps finger, half everyone's got. That's crazy. That's cool. Like I want to see the bad guy. Like I want to be surprised. That's what I want.
Right.
Get that surprising. Like when was the last time you were surprised with a DC ending?
Well, exactly. Super chat real quick. This one comes in courtesy of our good friend Sir X-Man is in the chat. He drops $2. Go ahead, Titan.
Flash game with upgrade his abilities in game. The Flash.
That's right. That would be fun as well. I'm pretty sure a Flash game would be fun as well. Probably not the deepest character in the world, but I'm sure people could have fun with them. We got Deadbird13 in the chat right now. Tell us, Ray, hanging out with us. We got Axel1324 is hanging out with us from the Iconic Video Games Podcast. Mark Caldeira's in the building. Good to see you, Mark. Doggy Dog hanging with us. Our Rob is still here. Spider-Man 356 is in the house. Good to see you, my friend. Who else we got? Thimber. We got Back from the Dead hanging on us. Michael Monkey Punch Lugo. Boba Fett Gaiman's in the building. Two Pad Stack is here as well. We got a great crew. We got Stinking Corpse in the house. Good to see you here as well. Great crew, guys. Thank you much for the love and support. Appreciate that. Anyway, let's keep on going. I don't know why these chats are not going off the screen. It takes them like 30 seconds after you click on them. Like, what the fuck?
Axel said in the chat there's no reason to watch him now that James Gunn is resetting everything. Like, can you guys expand on that? What does he mean by that? I don't know what he means by resetting everything.
Well, James Gunn, James Gunn just came in, right on the tail end of Black Adam. Him and this other guy, Sarah Fan or something like that, they're basically taking over the DCEU. And at this point, they've gotten rid of everybody. The first thing they did was, remember Henry Cavill? I'm coming back to play Superman, and it was a planned movie in the works. Mm-hmm. He was the first guy to get the axe. No, sorry, Cavill, you're not coming back. We're not using you. We're casting a new guy. Then
time out, because, all right, so Henry Cavill is not doing Witcher. He's not doing Superman now, too. What the hell is he doing? Like,
He was cast to come back, but James Gunn had a different direction and decided not to use him. So now he's on the. I know a lot of people thought The Witcher they wasn't doing The Witcher because he was going to be playing Superman, but that wasn't it. That was a totally different scenario. It just kind of sucks both ways. Then he got rid of Gal Gadot. He got rid of. He's not bringing back Affleck to do Batman. So far, the only one that he hasn't really nixed has been the douchebag that plays the Flash. Everybody else is gone, and there is one more Aquaman movie coming out, and apparently after this he's done in the role too, even though he said he would reprise it. So even there you go, Jason Momoa is canceled. So he's got a new Superman cast. I saw the guy's name the other day, I forget what it is. And he gave out a list of all the movies he's looking to do, and trust me, at least from my standpoint, 90% of them I had zero interest in. Never even heard of half of these characters he plans on doing. And he wants to do Superman. He's taking Superman back, not to the origin story, but he's basically going to have him like when he gets his role at the Daily Planet. And he's kind of like the job aspect of Superman. So what the fuck? I don't know, man.
So they're not continuing the story of the last Batman?
Nope. Done.
Are they even bringing him back? What's his name from
Twilight? All the characters that were in the DCU are pretty much now done.
Jeez, that is the reset button. That's like ESPN right now. They just hit the reset button.
Put his own stamp on it, and I don't know how it's going to go overall, but I can tell you from the feedback I see on social media, the DC Universe fans are absolutely really pissed off. Cavill was the first of many straws, but that was one that a lot of people were like, "Are you kidding me? He's the best Superman. He's played the role probably since Christopher Reeve, and you're going to can him." And then part of it was age. Henry Cavill is 42 years old or something, 39 or something like that, and you're telling him he's old? Arnold's playing the Terminator, and he's in his 70s. I mean,
yeah.
Right?
Rocky was boxing well into his 60s. Come on, man.
Henry Cavill's in better shape than most 25-year-olds. So fuck off with that theory. Right?
Yeah. Well,
and he wants to play the role. Hello. Right? Guys threw his hand up like, "Hey, I want to be Superman. I love it." And the fans are like, "Dude, let's go. Let's sign him up." Like, how do you not give the fans what they want? This is like, the video game companies saying, "Well, we hear you asking for this game, but we're not going to make it." You know why? Because we want to do our own thing and screw you guys who make us money. Could you imagine if Nintendo ever came out and said, we're fucking done with Mario. Guys going in the trash.
How old did you say Henry Cavill was?
I think he's 39, between 39 and 42, something like that.
Damn, really? Because I was like, all right, well, the only other guy that could play Superman to me was Tom Welling, and I just looked it up. He's 46. So
right.
I guess he's way out of the... My goodness gracious.
Right.
So yeah, I guess a new fresh blood, fresh everything. I don't like it. Like, people don't like change, man. You got to stick with your guns, whatever. It's weird that his name's Gun too. You got to stick with what works for as long as it goes until it dies off.
But I think it's the whole thing with Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder, especially the Zack Snyder Justice League, was amazing compared to the version that was kind of put out there with the other guy, the Josh Whedon version, which a lot of people consider a bit of an abomination. Like Zack Snyder sat back in after he got, come back from his daughter's suicide, and he just lit that shit up, and it was amazing. I mean, I thought that was a great movie. And a lot of people love Man of Steel. It's still regarded as one of the best superhero movies. I love Man of Steel, and I'd love to see a sequel to that. And even what's his name, Michael Shannon, who played Zod in the new Flash movie, like he said he didn't enjoy his time on this one because it felt different. He really liked what Snyder was doing, and they're changing everything. Plus, they only had him in the movie for like a couple minutes or some fucking thing. He said it was hardly even worth him coming back to do the role, but I like Michael Shannon. He's a good actor, and he played Zod really good.
Sir X, man, that would be funny if that actually happened. He said all the DC stars going to go to Marvel and make Marvel a ton of money. That would be crazy if that actually did happen.
Love to see it. Yeah,
Henry Cavill is now 53 years old. He's younger than me, dude. Where'd you find out that information? He's only in his 40s.
He's going to play Wonder Woman. I mean,
he's known James Gunn. He'd probably get Lindsay Lohan or some fucking thing.
Henry Cavill, 40, yeah.
No, it's probably going to be Miley Cyrus or perhaps Lady Gaga because she's playing everything nowadays, it seems like. Actually, Lady Gaga is the new. Did you know Lady Gaga's playing the new Harley Quinn in the new Joker 2 movie?
No way.
Yeah,
no.
Lady Gaga and Joaquin Phoenix for Joker 2.
No. Really?
So who's making that one?
Well, that's a Warner Brothers, but sort of that's made outside of sort of the. See, and this is where it all kind of gets funky, right? Because this is the problem. DC is now on Warner Brothers are trying to copy what Marvel's been doing, and they're trying to have their TV shows, their movies, and the whole universe come together. But they don't need to do that. That's the problem. Just make a damn good movie. Who cares if it's connected to A, B, or C? Like, just make good movies. We don't care that the TV show character is now in the movie and it got to coordinate with this, that, and something. Now, this is where they're going wrong. Like, because, see, they're taking all those Avengers characters now and they're making them into shows and they're trying to have it all connected, part of that universe, like WandaVision. And now they got, what's his name, Dingleberry's there, fucking the Falcon is Captain America, for fuck's sake. What the fuck is going on?
You're as good as I, man. Iconic video games. Britney Spears for Wonder Woman. Oh, man. I don't know. Gal Gadot. Jeez. How do you beat that?
She was amazing as Wonder Woman. My God, she looked really good. Right?
Yeah.
Like, this is the thing. There's one thing that I think Zack Snyder's crowd didn't nail. Like, I think most people, even the ones who were vehemently against Ben Affleck as Batman, like, I thought he actually did a pretty damn good job. And I was like, after I saw him in the suit I was like, I'm sold. Yeah, he's pretty cool. And the fact that he actually bulked up for the role, I was like, damn. Like, most of these other actors don't put on anything. They just put on a friggin' muscle suit and call it a day. Like, Ben Affleck's like they're pumping iron. Like, fuck, he was buff.
Oh yeah.
What did I see?
But whatever.
I saw what's his name trying on a Superman suit. Did you know what I'm talking about? Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage. He was supposed to do Superman Libs or something way back in was it late 90s, early 2000s or something like that.
I could not see that. Yeah, that resurfaced. Today.
That was horrible. You might as well cast Beavis and Butthead as Batman and Robin at that point. Huh?
No kidding.
Batman. Batman, I think we need to get the Joker.
Yeah. Gotta save humanity. Let me fly
Princess
away.
Zelda, are you tearing into my favorite actor of all time, Tom
She
Cruise?
is, because she hates him.
Oh,
she hates him with a passion.
I love Tom Cruise. He's my number one actor.
Oh man, she might tune out of the show right now.
I can't get over the middle tooth with Tom Cruise. Like, he's got that tooth right in the middle of his eye. I just can't get past it.
I think he's got that straightened up a bit now, doesn't he?
Does he? I don't know. My wife pointed it out to me like 2 decades ago, and I'm just like, oh my, and that's all I see. I see this guy in that middle tooth, and I it's hard. It's hard. Although Maverick was a great movie. I love that. That's good.
Tom Cruise and Christian Bale, man, that's my boys.
You keep saying his name. I'm not gonna get it. So he dries up every time you hear his name.
Who? What guy's name?
You're making Tom Cruise.
Oh. I think he's apparently making another Days of Thunder now.
Man.
I gotta look how old Tom Cruise is now, because freaking
Tom Cruise, like what now? Is he just late 50s, right? 58 or something? Or did he just hit 60?
61.
Up there. What?
61.
Wow, he's getting up there, eh? Still looks fucking good for a 61-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah. Growth hormone will do that for you, though, right?
Still does his own fucking stunts, man. Not many actors can say that outside of Jackie Chan.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Anyway, changes name to Boomer Cruise. What's going on, everybody? We got Weon Pasau. What's going on, Weon? I guess it's Weon or Wayon or anyway. Sorry if I pronounce it wrong, but welcome to the show. Good to see you here. All the new people, Deadwood 13. Good to see you in the chat. Crazy Greek dude is in the building. The Rocket League champ himself is here. Yes, Axel's still hanging out with us. Doggy Dog in the building. Sergeant Sentinel Gaiman's in the house. He was a guest on the show here a couple weeks ago. That was awesome having Actually, he was here last week, a couple weeks ago. What the hell? Last week. My memory's terrible. Cyber Gunter's in the building. Good to see you here, my brother. All righty. So, any further thoughts? I got DCU, though. Are they in trouble? Like, what's it going to take for them to turn things around? And do you think James Gunn is the answer? Because based on the fans, I'd say shit's only going to get worse.
Well, give him a shot with the first one. I always say, yeah. You can't just dismiss it.
Yeah, I tend to agree. You give him a chance, and if he blows it, well, then we can judge. But
yeah.
Brian always gives somebody the benefit of the doubt until they prove me right.
I'm sorry. I'm bitter at him. I'm bitter and I'm angry, and his movies won't get $1 of mine. As long as he did that shit to Cavill, I'm fucking out.
I remember the first time I heard that Star Wars was making a movie completely not based on any force powers and things like that, or the TV show, and the Andor, and I really liked Andor. So, like, I judged that right away. I was like, who's gonna want to watch that? And that's gonna be terrible. But I liked it. I turned out liking it. So, usually when I jump to conclusions like that, usually that's some of the times I'm wrong. So we'll see what he's got, and let's move on. Last topic of the night, eh?
Yeah, we're getting there. Holy shit, we're almost an hour in already, and we still haven't even brought in Handy Andy. All right, where are we at here, guys? Let's see what we got on the docket here right now. I guess the last one's kind of a lighthearted one, but it's an interesting question, and it's kind of stemmed out of some of the articles and stuff that we've seen over the past few days where some fans are coming under fire. Some of us podcasting community, some of our brethren are coming under fire from certain, assets in the community that think it's a bad thing to go out and actually get a picture with an executive or sit down and have a conversation. How do you guys feel about that? Do you think the likes of Phil Spencer, Aaron Greenberg, and every company should mingle with the fans or should kind of stay behind closed doors? Or do you think it's just because Xbox is a more social platform and the crowd over at PlayStation, well, their executives are a bunch of dingleberries for the most part. So where do you guys sit on that? Start with you, Mental.
I think if any of those PlayStation fanboys could get their little mugshot with their buddy Jimmy Boy there, they'd be jumping at the chance. So I think it's just jealousy that the Xbox execs are out there mingling with their fans and, taking these shots. And it's crazy to me to see executives doing that these days. Sometimes it's hard to even believe it's taking place. The reality is you watch some of these shows and you see Greenberg calling out guys in the crowd that are, known to all of us on YouTube. Mm-hmm. And, they know who these people are. You don't see Jim Ryan or anyone from Sony doing that crap. And I'd be amazed if they ever did, in fact, do something like that. But I guarantee you, if all these bozos out there that are making fun of the whole thing or criticizing it as something that shouldn't be taking place had the opportunity, they'd be in there like a dirty shirt, all over it.
Exactly.
So, shut up is my opinion. Like, don't be an idiot.
Right?
Yeah.
As Princess Zelda says, it's concrete evidence that some people live to bitch. And that's minor words never said tonight. She might win the Titan Drago
Bringing the common back to
That'd be
sense.
2 weeks in a row.
Yeah. No doubt.
Well, it's because that's what it is. Titan, I mean, that must I guess you know what? Nothing surprises you now. I'm sure Titan, when you see this kind of crap, you're like, well, what else is new? Like every time anything happens with Xbox, there's always an outcry, an uproar. The stakes are out, the pitchforks are ready. Like nobody can ever, it seems like, from a certain side of gaming say anything good about anything Xbox, period.
Well, that's what happens when you're brainwashed, man. Like, and it's just against the company, and people don't realize that they are, and it's plain and simple. Like, people don't realize. I've said it a lot. They don't realize how many different ways they're brainwashed.
Yeah. Drinking the Kool-Aid.
And when you're a PlayStation fan, all right, let's take me for instance. I'm a Minnesota Vikings fan. I hate all the other teams. Okay, is it rational? Absolutely not. But that's just I'm brainwashed in that way. You know what I mean? Like, I love my team and I dislike the others. It's essentially the same thing, only now we're talking about plastic. So, but the weird thing is like there's lines and everything. I always say it, and people fail to realize the line, and there's a line where it's like where you start to be insulting for no reason, and like Mental said, that jealousy is what kind of gets them there to cross that line. It's because why do you gotta, I guess, hate or speak ill of someone else having a good time for nothing? Like, are you getting hurt? Is someone getting hurt? That's always the first thing I ask whenever someone like pops their lid on anything. Like, you could take it and like road rage, or they could be anything we're talking about. The first thing I always ask is, hey, did someone get hurt? Like, is someone hurting somebody? And if the answer is no, then relax, man, calm down. Put yourself in that situation, because like he also Mental said, if they had the chance, absolutely they would. If it was their brand doing the same thing, and it's not, and that's what it comes down to. That their brand is they're not getting that same treatment from their brand, so they're mad. And instead of saying, "Hey, PlayStation, you guys should do this too. You guys should have some public members out there addressing everyone and doing these meet and greets, yada yada, these events, because PlayStation events, they haven't even gone in years, and then they have a show and it's terrible that doesn't include the community. When is the PlayStation community going to actually alienate this? When are they going to realize this? When are they going to be like, okay, man, we are getting treated terribly over here? Or maybe it's not even that. Maybe it's just like the way they want to get treated isn't the way they're getting treated. It's something like that. And
I guarantee you, shoe on the other foot, these same people are making fun of Xbox fans like, oh, where are your execs? They're all sitting in their offices trying to spend Microsoft's money on buying everything. That's what they'd be doing. They'd be parading their pictures all over Instagram and Twitter and everywhere else they can put it, on their OnlyFans or whatever the hell they do with it, right? Like, it's a joke. It's ridiculous.
It's just silly. Like the bottom line is, I can't speak for all the PlayStation executives because we don't see enough of them in the public circle. I'm sure there's times even at Microsoft that they wish that their own people would step back a little bit, because every once in a while, it's easy to put your foot in the mouth if you're always kind of out there. But we do know that they're gamers. I can definitely see, like, I have Phil Spencer on my Xbox list, and I see that guy almost every time I'm logged in, he's playing a game. So they are gamers. At the end of the day, they're no different than the rest of us. It's just that they are the faces for a corporate entity that happen to give us, one of our favorite pastimes. And I don't see anything wrong with it. It's harmless. They love the fans love them. People say, well, they don't care. And I mean, at the end of the day, as we all know that no matter what company you are, Sony, Nintendo, Microsoft, the almighty dollar is what rules the roost. But, to go out and just have fun and sit down or have a dinner with your fans and stuff, I think it's just awesome. And it's great to get insight and where they're coming from. And you hear like when you heard Phil talking about Redfall, and you can hear sort of that, like, he knows how much fans want great games and stuff. They're not oblivious, right? And here's what we're saying. And some things that are out of their control, they can only do so much, and then it's up to the studios. And you sense that he was disappointed with the way that Redfall came out, because it had potential to be something great, and it turned out to be kind of, ho-hum, right? So, but, I don't see anything wrong with it. We put them on a bit of a pedestal and they don't ask for it, but it is what it is. I'm just glad that they're good enough that they embrace their role and they have fun with it. What's wrong with that? If Jim Ryan was like the kind of guy that would go out there and talk to fans and have dinners, people would do the same. They take pictures with him too. Sean Layden was more of that friendly, happy-go-lucky, out in front of the public kind of guy, but he's not there anymore, right?
You know what I want to
just think if Jim Ryan was the kind of guy that actually played video games,
right?
I wonder what his PSN is, right? Like,
he probably just plays Tetris. He looks like the guy that plays that one game every once in a while.
On his phone.
On his phone.
What I want to do is I want to take their last shows and I want to put them side by side, the videos of one of Phil Spencer's, saying, let's take the clip that he was like, all these new games, he said it a bunch of times in like the last 3 shows, because the last 3 shows showed a ton of games, ton of new games, ton of games coming to Game Pass. And you can see you can hear the excitement in his voice. We got all these games, this and that, yada, yada, yada. Yeah. And then the last show by PlayStation where Jim Ryan's up there and he's like, the show was terrible. Like they showed foam stars and freaking Spider-Man. And he's like, and he's like, you sound so pompous. He's like, and now this is what you've all been waiting for. It's like, really? Like all this trash is what PlayStation fans have been waiting for? Like one freaking game and foam stars? Like, come on, man.
Foam stars. I still have that. Fuck. Man.
Jim Ryan, I don't need to play video games. My job is to keep PlayStation #1. Oh, that's true too.
Almost there. They're bug snacks.
I love having Jim Ryan in the chat.
Yeah. Yeah, she got the perfect last name, Lena Khan, because she's a real con artist. That's what she is.
Oh, jeez.
Don't get me started on her. What's up, Fast?
It's a whole nother topic, yeah.
Well, hopefully in a couple more days we're gonna find out where this whole thing drops, and we'll be able to come back and at least give us our take on the final verdict, whether it's good or for. But this case is going to leave precedents for a long period of time, good or bad, and it's certainly going to make other companies take a hard, long look before they decide to toss out any major contracts for any mergers or acquisitions. That's for sure.
I've said it from the beginning. This deal was going to pass. Since it even became a thing, I would be so shocked if this deal did not go. I would be because we were kind of expecting to see a result within the past few days, even possibly today, right?
Yeah.
Well, there's an article now. 100%. There's an article I was reading earlier, something about now they're basically issuing contempt of court for Lena Khan, because I guess they don't want to bring forward certain documents that are being requested right now.
Wait, be more specific about that, because you were pretty vague.
Congress is asking for documents from Lena Khan or the FTC, and they're refusing to produce them. So there is speculation that this could be big trouble for them if they don't. And there's speculation that why aren't you producing these documents? And the speculation around that is, well, it's going to show collusion between the FTC and CMA. Right. Yeah. And
and maybe even
maybe
PlayStation,
not,
right?
but-
Like the big three, the love triangle, if you will. Just doesn't make any sense. Why is the rest of the world agreeing with this, and not just agreeing with it, but with no what do you call it? Yeah. So like there's nothing else they have to do. 90%, 99% of the world is okay with it, but you got these PlayStation and the thing is that's what their argument's about in this trial. We've gone over it before. They mentioned PlayStation like 77 times versus Xbox's 11. Like, or not Xbox's 11. Consumers.
I don't know if Deadwood spelled their name wrong on purpose.
You bring that up. I didn't see it. I didn't see that.
Lena Cunt could be in for a ride.
Oh my.
The way he spelled it was funny.
And when there's smoke, there's fire, man. Like her job is under the hot seat right now, and it's not just from this case. It's prior too. So,
they mentioned in that article, her actions, and I forget. I'm not going to try and quote it because I don't remember the exact verbiage. But basically, she's cost taxpayers in the U.S. like yourself, Titan, $8.8 billion due to fraudulent stuff now that's coming through. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. How she still has a job, I don't understand.
It's two of the worst leaders in a row. Like, all right, we got the presidential stuff. Okay, we had Trump there, one of the worst leaders in my opinion. Then now we got the FTC, Khan and Ajit Pai. Those are the two. How are these people getting elected? Because I don't even understand. I didn't dig into how they get that job on the FTC.
They get appointed by the president, basically, is how I understand it. They're not elected; they're just appointed by whoever's in power at the time.
Does anyone know if they have like a term? Do they have to serve an entire oh boy?
I don't think so. I think it's just here's the job. You've got it until I fire you. I think. But it's insane.
Oh boy. Let's hope this shit ends pretty soon because it's getting it's practically a joke, but I mean it's no laughing matter to Microsoft. It's a lot of money on the line, and this doesn't go through. There's still $3 billion fucking dollars. That's insane. And you got to imagine how angry people over at Activision must fucking be too. Like they all want to get this done, over with, put this behind them, pay out their shareholders, all that bullshit. And this is just dragging on.
And not only if they don't get acquired, it's like a question mark of what happens to them, right? Because if Microsoft doesn't gonna buy them up, who else is gonna do it?
Sony puts in a fucking bid and it goes through in a month. Why? Well, I can see that fucking happen. Like about 6 months later, Sony puts in a fucking bid for probably $50 billion or some shit, and it goes through. It's like, yeah, you're good.
Yeah, no worries on that one, Jimmy. We'll sign off on that today. Do you want it today or is tomorrow okay?
Yeah, we signed off documents in the 6 months we're waiting. They're all good. Yeah.
Call of Duty's exclusive for the rest of time to PlayStation.
Yeah, exactly. No 10-year deals for fucking Microsoft, a 100-year deal to keep it off the platform, probably.
Right?
Yeah, no doubt.
Totally reversed, right?
Microsoft has to sign a 95-5 revenue deal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. And you'll have to give us Master Chief while you're at it, just because we're pricks.
They would do it. They would do Microsoft so dirty if they had ABK. Just imagine. Come up with the craziest way in the chat that you think that what Sony would do with ABK or what conditions they would make Microsoft to go for to put it on the platform.
The only skin available on Xbox is Master Chief. That's it. You all play as Master Chief.
Oh, I guarantee you, Microsoft would pay out the yin yang like big time.
Yeah.
Oh, you want Call of Duty? Well, that's gonna cost you. And I'm not talking regular dollars, it's going to cost you. Hey, look who's in the chat there, Titan Drago.
Yo, Dunmore.
Jason Max is hanging out with us. Sir X-Man still here. Jago Kukin's in the building. What's going on, brother Jago? All right, we got amazing people. I love you guys. Fucking chat. Unbelievable, guys. People in here every single week. Man, I can't say enough about it. It's awesome. Pretty good stuff. But anyway, any further thoughts before we basically wrap up the show? We do have to bring in, I guess, our special guest. He needs to make a small appearance, which technically is small.
And hit that like button, folks.
Hit that like button. Share this shit out. All right. So I'm gonna step aside. We gotta bring him in here.
I'm nervous, actually, a little afraid, bit scared.
We got 27 with us now and 29 likes. I'm looking at. That's kind of wild.
Ah, nice. I like it.
More people.
I hit the button 4 times, so it's probably me.
You're like on your phone, man.
Yeah. All my alt accounts.
That's right. Old new. Let's go, Handy Andy. Jeez, oh, Pete, get the hand up your rear end already, will you? Yeah, Mental, I was not expecting you to be like, you're like ready to go, man. You're like, oh, I got this and that. I saw your dog behind you a couple times, but that was it, man. Like you got the background and everything.
It's been a week from freaking hell, man. This is like worst move experience ever. And to top it off, I got here. I thought, my laptop's all set. At least I'll have that. Freaking motherboard and the laptop dies. Can't make it work for nothing. So I have to buy a new laptop. So yeah, it's been a nightmare. Everything.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Hey, it's Handy Andy. I'm back for episode 6. Did you guys miss me? Because I fucking miss you guys. Look at that sexy Titan Drago. Kissy kissy. What's going on, Mental you fucking superstar, you Canadian rock star motherfucker. Yeah, what's going on, chat? I see Jago fucking Big Balls Cooking is in the house. What's going on, baby? What's going on, Sir X-Man? Talk to me, Sir X-Man, with that sexy, crusty voice of yours. Ooh. Okay, you guys got questions for Handy Andy? Because, seriously, I've been jerking all day, and I've fucking... Oh, God, my fucking dick is so sore right now. Oh, I can't even put my pants on. As a matter of fact, Noob's hand up my fucking ass is hurting right now. Oh!
Handy, we had a super chat from Sir X-Man, and I want you to respond to this, okay? Oh. Sir X-Man said, if the deal goes through, the UK gets nothing, I will laugh. And I would personally, too, because, that's pretty much what's going to happen, I feel like, if they do deny it over there in the UK. What do you think, Handy?
Yeah, I totally agree. If this shit fucking falls back, Microsoft fucking goes AWOL and gives these fuckers nothing, baby. I take it after there, make them pay. And then you know what? I go around and I money hat the motherfucker of every small fucking studio that made my dick even an inch bigger. So just get them all. Get them all, bitch. All the small ones. You can't come after you down. Just do it one at a time, baby. And then make them cook. That's what I would do. Absolutely. Let's do it.
Andy, Jim Ryan in the chat says this is unacceptable. What do you got to say to Jim Ryan over there in the chat?
Jim Ryan, honestly, you're unacceptable. You're so nasty. I wouldn't even let you put your hand up my ass. No, seriously, Jim Ryan, you old crusty fucker. Really? Can you just lay off? You got the #1 platform in the world. What are you worrying about? Are you worried I think you're taking Lena Khan out for dinner. I think there's something going on with you two. I think there's some kind of sly guy kind of bullshit going on with you two. Who the fuck knows? Maybe it's you, Lena Khan, Jeff Keighley, and fucking Hideo Kojima. It's like a 4-way fucking all day over there with a bunch of turds. I think you're all fucking weird. You don't know what you're doing, but Microsoft know what they're doing, baby.
I got something really important to point out. Welcome, Chef Trouble. Have we all noticed what's been going on these past few weeks when Handy Andy's on? Every time Handy Andy, hold on. Every time Handy Andy gets on the show, Chef Trouble shows up. What's up with that, Handy?
Chef Trouble thinks I'm sexy. You're making me moist, Chef Trouble. Let's go. What's going on? Is Meg in the house? Did I see Meg? No Meg. Just Chef Trouble. That's okay. I do think
Mag had that haircut, ain't it?
What?
He wishes Mag had that haircut, ain't it?
Meg pretty much got this. Actually, no, I do have a little bit more hair than Meg, but I do kind of look like Meg. He's got glasses too, but I'm not a chef. I can't cook worth a shit. I can't even boil a hot dog properly. That's
pretty rough.
That's pretty bad. Pretty rough. I am the only guy in Canada that could fuck up craft dinner. Seriously. Right? Honestly. Because you know what? I churned the butter with your mama's orgasms.
Hey, Andy, Meg wants the link. He wants on. I think he wants to confront you face to face.
It would be good.
You're in trouble now.
Hang on, you gotta give me a second.
Well, yeah,
shit, bro.
If Zelda stopped in every time Handy came on the show, I'd be jealous too, Mag. When my wife buys me a Handy Andy outfit, I'd think something was going on too, man.
You gotta buy him the suspenders.
If Mag comes on the show and then in that blue plaid, man, I'm gonna die.
Oh man, if he comes on the show, if he comes on as what's his name? Fucking Tony Baloney. Oh shit.
Please come on in blue plaid and suspenders. Change real quick, please.
All right, Mag, you got the link, brother.
Oh my goodness.
Bring Andy back on in a second. Everybody's like dying in anticipation. What's going on here? What's going on? You realize that when Mag jumps in, we're gonna have like two bald guys on the bottom of the screen.
There we go. Bald power. Who needs hair? Who needs it? Man, I started shaving my head long before I ran out of hair. So I wouldn't trade it. Having to worry about what your hair looks like? Nah. I wake up and I just look this good.
Chef Trouble, make him wear them.
He comes out of the fucking suspender.
Let me tell you something, you smooth-talking son of a bitch. First of all, that's right. He's in the house. He's got something to say. He's got a few things to say. I got a couple things. First of all, let me get this out of my system. Titan. Titan gave me there he is. There's a little scumbag himself. Actually, you know what? I'm glad you brought him up. Listen, Titan gave me a Handy Andy once. And let me tell you something. It was a dark alley, but you know what? In return, I gave him some of my Handy Andy penis candy all over his face. That's right. That's what ended up happening, folks. And another thing, actually, Titan, speaking of which, I wanted to talk to you about that Viking rug of yours. If you don't mind, Tony Baloney would like to borrow that Viking rug because I got a body I got to get rid of. Because I figure if I dump the body in a Viking rag, the cops, nobody on earth is going to be looking for a Viking rug. So I think it'd be pretty safe that no one will ever find that body inside. So that's what I want to do there. Doggy Dog, I see you in the chat. And who's this mental guy that I see in the corner? It looks like Mag swallowed an entire bottle of Valium. He's too quiet. He's too calm. He's too well informed. I don't know what's going on over there. Yeah, and as for Nukem, scumbag, I can't wait to see you in November. I got a couple of things I got to take, talk to you about. But anyways, anybody got anything to ask me before I get out of this? And then obviously the Mag's going to come in.
I got a question for you.
How can you tell Mag just got off the family-friendly show?
Fan. Tony, I'm a big time fan. It's been a long time. Like, where you been? And second of all, should Nukem bring me to Niagara Falls? I hear the hookers are good out there.
Yes, bring him to Niagara Falls. So I'm going to film a video of me throwing you over the fucking falls and watching you free fall to your death.
That would be fun, but I can't swim.
Well, that's the point. And then if somebody finds you, out comes the Viking rug.
There you go. How can you tell Meg just got off Colt's family-friendly show, eh? He's just letting her go.
Yeah, as soon as the Mag gets off that show, he says fuck about 18 times, right? To get it back into his system. Go. He's got to get the juice flowing in the system again. Unbelievable. Oh, there's Noof Nookem's head. He's sticking right in there. And the end, he must have his fist right up his ass. Unbelievable.
Noof Nookem's hand is really warm. Oh my god, it's like so good on the hemorrhoids.
This has got to be the most disturbing thing I've ever witnessed in my entire life, and I've seen a lot of things go down. But anyways, it was a pleasure to stop on. But the Mag will be back in just a moment. I got to get going. I got a couple things I got to deal with.
Well, you know what you say when you show up on Noof Nookem's show, it's a career ender, not a rear ender. Wow, that was cool. We got to see the one and only Tony. I heard all sorts of shit about him. He was so cool. But anyway, guys, any more questions? I'll take one more before we go. So, Titan, it's up to you. You look in the chat and tell me who got a question for me.
Who's got a quickie for Handy Andy?
I got a quickie.
All right, Sir X-Man says, would you with Lulu Chang, Handy?
Oh my god, Lulu fucking Chang. You know what? I'm gonna call it a Chang Bang. Let's go! Chang Bang! Chang Bang! Chang Chang Bang! Lulu! I want to screw you! Bang Bang! Chang Chang! She's cool. I like her. She's smart and she gives it to all the guys like she's literally like, I'm smarter than you, dumbass. And she always got something cool to say. We need more people on Microsoft's team that's just a little bit more savvy like she is, and perhaps this shit wouldn't have gone so far. Anyway, guys, I'll see you next week. It was a fucking great show. Gotta go jerk.
See you, Handy.
Lulu got the best of him. He's out of here.
I've never seen Mag more ill-dressed for a show in my life. I wonder if this was because he took off those the blue plaid and suspenders.
What the hell are you talking about? This is why I was just wearing this on Colt's show.
I don't believe. I actually watched that show tonight too.
Yeah, I saw you in the chat, and you're like, I saw you for a bit there, and then you're like, I gotta go, I gotta do my own show. So, Colt even said to me, he goes, "We're cutting it short early." So I'm like, I'm gonna drop by the other show just for a minute, say hi, see how everybody's doing. So
yeah, man, good to see you.
It's always good to see you, brother.
Good to see you, gentlemen. Yeah. I didn't want to interrupt.
The chat is entertained to the highest right now. They love seeing you here.
Oh, well, it was a pleasure. Man.
Reunion up in here.
Yeah, it is. It is.
It's gone in title, but it will never die. You know what I mean?
No, exactly. No, Joe Dunmore is in the chat. I can't believe it. I just saw his name there. I screamed that. By the way, I did that about a month ago on Colt's show. So Joe Dunmore shows up in the show, and Colt's talking about something, right? And I just screamed Joe Dunmore. I think he jumped out of his fucking skin. Yeah. he went like this. And I'm like, sorry, Colt, I got to do it. Every time I see Joe Dunmore, I got to scream it. So, you know. Yeah. Anyways, what are you guys talking about?
That's pretty much it. Now we kind of wrapped the show, and we were talking a little bit about the Black Panther game coming out, and we talked a little bit about, sort of the lackluster performance of a lot of the Marvel and DC games over the last couple of months, and obviously,
I think we need to just close the show with like a little bit of because we're right there at the decision of the ABK deal, and
could be tonight.
Yeah, so it's like it's gonna happen any day now. Should have happened already, in my opinion. I think that judge. So I think we just need to go over our final thoughts on that, because I think the judge is just kind of. I think it's taken so long because I think she's thoroughly going through all the data, and that takes some time to do, like filter through data. And I think she's writing up a pretty comprehensive report about why she's going to let the deal pass, and because people are going to. No matter which way she goes, people are going to ask why, and you got to have a good reason whatever way you go. And to me, if the deal passes, which I've always said it would, she's going to mention things like, all right, so we got these numbers. I think she's going to mention that Call of Duty isn't a necessity or make or break on any system or another in the first place on this. And beyond that, she's also going to say, well, that they're here on under oath saying that PlayStation is going to get it anyways. So I've got no reason to deny this acquisition on that front. She's going to also go into the consumer side of things and say, something along the lines of the FTC, your lawyers have, poked and prodded. And I wonder how dirty she's going to get about it too. I wonder how brutal she's going to get, because she could get brutal in her answer. She could say how much of a clown show that this trial actually was, or she could be respectful about it and just give the numbers straight up, right? I hope she goes like full out Judge Judy on this shit. You know what I mean? Like Judge Judy wouldn't have.
I'm going to send Lena Khan. I'm going to send her a box of chocolates and an Xbox dildo, and I'm going to say, if you don't like the chocolates, you can go fuck yourself.
The console theory of harm is dead. Like, that's a joke, a bad joke. It was right from day one. I couldn't believe they were going down that path. Made absolutely no sense at all. Like, no logic there at all in my mind. From a cloud gaming perspective, there's not enough of an industry there yet to even make a judgment on it. You can pretend that there's a future to it. I think NVIDIA is probably the only ones that really believe there's a solid future. Microsoft may to some extent. They're downplaying it, no question. But I don't think the FTC made a case on it in any realistic way. I mean, if you're bringing the common back to sense, I do believe this is going to pass, no problem.
That's right. We got to bring the common back to sense in the freaking courtroom. Damn. Well said.
Right on.
Let's save the last Mag for the last.
Absolutely. Mag, where do you stand after all the bullshit the last couple of months, actually? And obviously, with Colt and having a little more of an inside track, I guess, than the average person now. Where does he stand? What do you guys ultimately think happens here?
First of all, Colt said to say hi to everybody here, so he didn't. He says, "Oh my God," he goes, "I don't play." He goes, he's going to tune in, but he said to say hi. But anyways, here's the thing: we are under the understanding that the decision's already been made. It's been made for at least 3 days, maybe even 4 days. What's happening now is that they're already informed. They already know. Both parties know exactly, or not both parties. All three parties already know the verdict. They already know the answer. Now, what's happening is. This is now all being spun so that every single different division, whether it's the FTC, whether it's Microsoft, whether it's Sony, at this point, what they're doing now is that they're preparing their statements. They got their PR people. Guaranteed this happening. It probably happened today. They probably had the boardroom full of their PR people. They probably had their speechwriters. They've had short videos done. They're doing promo spots, whatever it is, for good or for ill, they have it both. They have it prepared for both. But now that they have their answer, they're moving on it. So now that what they're going to do is it could release anywhere between now and 3 a.m. For me, Eastern time, or it could be tomorrow morning. But however, they're saying that it won't launch Tuesday, Wednesday. So odds are pretty good. It could be tonight, or if not tonight, then Thursday. Now, that being the case, I think that at the end of the day, if they win, whatever. It's going to go through. It's going to be exactly what everybody thought it's going to be. They're basically just going to become a publisher at this point. The games are still going to be available on PlayStation and on PC and on Nintendo and X. But the only difference is that the only caveat is that Xbox is going to have the advantage of having everything in Game Pass, so that you can, you know what I mean. You could utilize it as you wish. Now, that being said, if they do not get it, and if it doesn't go through, I still think, and this is, I've heard this echoed in a couple of quiet corners from some pretty big people, that what they still are going to do is that it is still going to have a deal put through, because they're still going to get the $3 billion. Okay, which is like the failure fee, if you want to call it that. But that's still a goodwill fee. Now, the fact that they've also been in cahoots for the last, I would say, 18 months now, when they've been talking about this and dealing with this, I think I think it's reasonable that Xbox can say, or Microsoft can say, okay, you know what? Here's your $3 billion default fee. Let's throw you another $1 billion. We want COD for the next 10 years, marketed with Xbox. Throw the games in the back catalog, like 25 to 50 games in the back catalog as well. So in the end, you're still going to get pretty much all of the same things, because they're not, at this point, they're not going to turn around, take that $3 billion, possibly take even more, and then turn around and then give Sony the marketing rights. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
The goodwill is now between the two of them, and Sony has shown that. I mean, I understand they're there to do business. You know, whether people like it or not, they're there to do business, and whether they're clean or not, that's not our business. But the point is that what I see happening is that that's what's going to happen. It's going to be that the Xbox is still going to get a major deal out of this. So what they're trying to do at this point is that it's going to come off on the PR side. It's going to come off as a win-win, right? So it's a win if they win the case, but then they're also going to present it as, okay, guys, we didn't get the case, but. And that's where the but comes in, is that they're going to say, we didn't win the case. So it's going to be like, you know, that bullshit thing that they do at corporate settings, the compliment sandwich, where they say a nice thing, then they say a shitty thing, and then they say a nice thing so you feel good about yourself when you leave the office.
Right. Very familiar.
It's going to be, so it's going to be the same thing. It's going to be the same idea. It's going to be a compliment sandwich. They're going to basically deflect and immediately saying, you know what, it's not going through, but from here till 2030, Call of Duty will be marketed on Xbox. Xbox will be getting the map packs first. DLC will be launching first on Xbox. Betas will be launching first on Xbox. We're going to be launching 30 games, back catalog games, and all Call of Duty on.
So let me stop you there. Like, if that was the decision, they would have to say why. They would have to give the reason of like, you know, it would be one of the.
Well, actually, they don't have to.
Initial reasons, like I'm sure the judge will. I'm sure the judge will say, you know, judges always give reasons why they decide one thing or another. So because you got to prove it on some grounds, right? If the deal doesn't go through, it's not going to go because of these grounds. If it does go through, it's going to go through because of these grounds.
Right.
That's got to happen.
Well, but that doesn't have to come from Microsoft. Like Microsoft, all they have to say is we did it or we didn't.
No,
the
it's going to come from the judge.
To come from the FTC, and then the FTC.
That's where my question comes in. What could possibly be the reason? And that's why I think this deal is going to go through. What could possibly be the reason that they don't go through, but Microsoft still gets something anyways? Like, it just doesn't.
Well, I guess
it doesn't make quite sense.
They've been working behind the scenes for 18 months now.
My other question, you guys, is this: you know, regardless of what happens now with this court case, no matter which way the verdict goes, like there's so many documents out in the wild now, which kind of shows you how ruthless various companies and divisions within these companies are working. Like, do you see that no matter what, like say this season go through for Microsoft, do you think this now sort of really kicks and awakens the giant now that they can see how ruthless Sony's been, especially in the Japanese market with Money Hat and all the properties, keeping shit away from the platform and basically trying to destroy, you know, every ounce of ground that Xbox has tried to gain in Japan. I mean, they're really struggling over there. And like, I don't know, that in alone has to be a huge part of this whole case. Like they're always talking about Microsoft as a juggernaut, and they keep referring to them as if that old 1980s, we're going to dominate everything like we did the PC market. But here they are in so many markets of the world, they can't even make a dent. I mean, they can't even sell 1,000 Xbox Series consoles in Japan. Think about that.
Yeah.
Right?
And that broke records.
Right?
That broke records. And like, we've never sold this many consoles.
Units.
And then, they sold like 1,000. I'm like, huh? So yeah, you're right. You're right.
If you believe Jimmy, though, he was saying Bobby was hitting them up for another extension on their deal. So, you know, marketing rights. But
that's what I'm saying. So I think that they're going to, if it doesn't go through, they're going to glaze it over real quick and then immediately start talking about the positives. They're going to immediately say, like, listen, it didn't go through, but we got, you know, X, Y, and Z. And they're going to go through that whole list of everything that they've got so that people, by the time people process, they went, oh, shit, it didn't go through. You're not thinking about that anymore because now you're like, oh, wow, will we get first access to Call of Duty for the next 10 years? We're getting all this. We're getting 25 games in Game Pass, like the back catalogs of, and it's not out of the realm of possibility because if you go check on PlayStation right now, Call of Duty Cold War is available for free, by the way, if you've got a PlayStation Plus, which if you're playing online, you have to have it. So you can just download it for free and it's yours forever. So why not? You know what I'm saying? So like, what would stop them from putting back catalog Call of Duties in Game Pass and Tony Hawk's and whatever else, right? So that at least give them a positive.
Mm-hmm.
This is for Dreadpool.
And they got the cash now because if they're not spending $68.5 billion, now they've got the cash to throw $1 billion to have that. Even Colt said, he goes, that's a lot of money. But I'm like, is it though? Because essentially you're still giving them the same, like the Xbox gamers are still going to get all that stuff, except the only difference is that they don't own it. So now you're just paying $1 billion instead of $68.5 billion.
This is for Dreadpool real quick. Tell me why he ain't nothing but ABK. Tell me why he ain't nothing but 70 billion bucks. I never want to hear you say Xbox don't get ABK.
That's great.
Nice.
First thing in the chat, Spider-Man 356, stop. In capital letters. Next comment, mute. Actually, you know what, guys? He sounded good. Fastback, what's up, brother? He sounded good. He sounded good. I don't understand what the problem was.
Oh, fuck.
Not too shabby. You missed your calling, man. Get out there.
I've been the lead singer.
Let's calm down. Let's calm down with that.
You got to learn yourself some Titan history, mental.
There you go.
I was a rock singer, but I could, I could fluctuate.
Chef Trouble, stop encouraging this. Zelda, can you deal with this? Look, you know what? Keep singing because people are donating money to get you to stop.
Dreadpool, you were the one that asked for it in the chat. That was for you.
Isn't that amazing? So you just keep singing. Do another half-hour karaoke. You can get some money made over here.
Sorry, it takes
Dude,
me like
I am
30
going to need those $2 from you.
It takes like 30 seconds for a fucking super chat to show up on screen. There's so much lag on this PC right now. Parody songs. Yeah, that's it. We're going to start a new podcast after this one. All right.
Yeah, if you haven't seen my channel, that's what I pretty much did on my channel. I made parodies, a lot of parody songs.
Yep, I remember.
Your wife said,
"Yeah, I know. I see it. Noob. I see it.
Going.
Yeah. I got a karaoke machine behind me. That's why when I get drunk, I pull it out and then I start and then I close the doors and I'll just sing by myself till like 3 a.m. So yeah.
Usually I would get drunk with my wife and pull something else up, but I ain't karaoke.
Yeah, no. My wife gets sick and tired of it. She's like, I'm going upstairs. This guy's not interested in anything. He just wants to sing Duran Duran.
Let's get the Tony Baloney outfit on, is it? Hey,
you know what? I don't know how long that it's been since I put that on. Jesus, it's got to be like well over a year. And then and it's funny. I opened the closet down in the basement and it's literally sitting in the exact same spot that I left it like from the last Gaming After Dark.
Hung up on a rack like a Superman suit, just fucking like 5 or 6 and just pulled it out. Here we go. Anyway, guys, been a dynamite show. Even better with the mag stopping by to grace us with his presence. We'll let everybody get out of here to the chat. You guys are fucking unreal. And Nate, what's going on, brother? Good to see you here. Monster 530, Dreadpool in the house. Everybody that's been here tonight, Cyber Gunter, Iceman, you guys are fantastic. Thanks so much for the love and support. Hit that like button. Share this out. Please subscribe. Love to hit 2,000 subs this year. It's been a drag the last while, especially after I took that kind of a bit of a break. Fuck, it's just been absolute chug. But it's all good. And it looks like we got another super chat coming in before we close the show, courtesy of Dreadpool. And there you go.
Dreadpool, stop Titan from singing and super chat to get
so
mag.
He wants you to stop, and he wants me to start saying felching. Felching. So he wants me to say felching. So yeah, there it is. I can't do it without like gagging for real.
Freddy.
Like I don't understand who came up with that. Like I still to this day. Anyway, sorry.
Wasn't there a guy in the chat named Freddie Felcher or some fucking thing like that? I feel like we've had some interesting cats up in here with some weird names. So
Audible Fart was always one of the funniest ones.
Oh,
I always loved that name. He showed up actually on this show a couple of weeks ago or a month ago.
Yeah, Stinging Corpse, what's going on, brother? All right, man. So let's let our esteemed guest jump out of here first. He wants to get back to reality. Meg, let people know, man, where they can find you when you're not hanging out with us bozos. Obviously, you've got a big show on Monday nights and on Wednesday nights. Fine group of people. But anyway, tell us about XNC and all that stuff.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's a rarity that we finished this early. That like we were done like just after 9:30. So I'm like, I told him, I'm like, all right, cool, I'm out. I'm going to go jump on Noob Show if he lets me. And he's like, hey, go say hi to for me. And I'm like, all right, cool. So anyways, yeah, of course you can find me Mondays on XNC at 8 p.m. Eastern. On Wednesdays, I'm still on Primetime Gaming with Boom at 7 p.m. And we're still doing that. And then, of course, I'm always Deadwood. Thank you for that. And the thing is, you know what? I'm still releasing videos, still doing my thing. Ponymaster 420 is still a thing. I did a video a couple of weeks ago with that, where I did Phil as the Emperor in Star Wars, and of course I was his Sith apprentice. Anyways, I did that. I did a cooking video today. I released, so you know it's all out there. I'm all just doing my thing. But anyways, you guys know where to find me. Yeah, thanks, Cyber, an Iceman, Mag the Pony. Oh, not Cyber. Sorry, Cyber. It was Iceman. He's like Mag the Pony. Yeah, because he sees me on PS5 all the time. Anyways, guys, even though it was a short while, it was great to be back. It was great to do the show, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Hey, man, you never know. Whenever I'm floating around, I'll pass by.
Fantastic. You know, you're welcome here anytime. Open invitation. Mental 9R, my Canadian brother. Hopefully you gotten things sorted out here. And I take it you're now down in my neck of the woods?
I sure am. Yeah, it was the move from hell, that's for sure. One of the worst weeks of my life. Everything that could go wrong did go wrong, including the laptop I had set up for this very show. Packing it in on me earlier in the week, so I had to buy a new one and get kind of set up because my PC, there's no room in this place. My family of four, we're in a 900 square foot Airbnb at the moment until we take possession of our house on the 24th. So, hopefully things get a little bit more back to normal for me back near the end of the month. But until then, you'll be seeing me sitting here. I'm actually sitting on our bed right now. My dog just came in the room again. But happy to be back, and you can find me at Mental9R on Twitter. Nice to do a bit of a show with you anyway, Meg.
Man, it was a pleasure, brother.
Little bit of a Twitter exchange, fellow Canadian. Always nice to see a fellow Canadian face to face.
Sure, you guys aren't brothers? Jeez, oh, peace.
I know, eh? I know.
No doubt, right?
The only difference is that I color my beard. That's it. That's literally the only difference. Just for men, dark brown.
Yeah, not worried about that myself. I was telling these guys I started shaving my head before I went bald because I was just sick of worrying about what my hair looked like. So screw that.
Ain't it cute? They're like the twins that are trying to be opposite. One's wearing a black shirt, one's wearing a white shirt.
It's like Christ, Antichrist. I don't know which one is which. Yeah,
I just have contacts in right now, but Meg, I've got a pair of glasses that are like virtually identical to those. So that would really freak people out if I was wearing my glasses. Right on. There you go, man. Good stuff. Good stuff.
We're gonna make a podcast together called All Glare, No Hair.
Yeah. I think I saw that on Pornhub once, but anyways, yeah.
To the man whose opinions are so huge, we refer to him as Titan. Where can people catch up with you next, brother?
YouTube, Twitter, everybody at Titan Drago, and this week's Common Sense Award has got to go out to the fans. You know what I mean? When you got fans, you gotta give them some love every now and then. So this week's Common Sense Award is going to go out to Dreadpool for requesting Titan Drago to sing once again. I know it's been a long time, so long since I know a lot of us forgot that Titan Drago sings, but Dreadpool, you are welcome. And anytime you request a song from me, bro, I will try and sing that for you. You're welcome, man. I know you're trying to play it cool and everything like that, and I know it's all right, man. Don't worry about it. Until next week, everybody, let's bring the common back to sense.
And you know where to find me, always in the gutter, but yes, hanging out with these fantastic gentlemen each and every week, Monday nights, right here at 9 Eastern and 7 Mountain Time, right here, the Gaming Fuse podcast. Look forward to be back next week, and hopefully we can have a small chat about hopefully the verdict and what comes down after this ABK bullshit. But yeah, that's it. Again, big thanks to the Mag for stopping in for a few minutes, and obviously our Tony Baloney. That was a great treat. Haven't seen him in a long time. And as always, to the amazing chat, Doggy Dog, amazing dude, Dreadpool, Rob Den. The list goes on. You guys are amazing. Thanks so much for the support. Again, hit the like, share, subscribe. Tell your mother, tell your brother. Let them know where to find us, the Gaming Fuse. We'll catch you later, guys. Have a great night, and we'll see you next week. Take care.
Cheers, folks.
And I think we're off. It's like taking forever. I got to get a new fucking computer, man.
The ticker's still going.
Oh, my